Hi everybody, all my followers, be welcome to another video. Right, the video today is on a 2013 Audi S7. This is the RS6 with the 4-liter V8 turbo. And this car came to me from another garage. I was not planning to record this because I thought it would be a straightforward process, but it looks like it's not going to. So let me show you what is wrong with the car. Right, let's gonna start this thing. And the problem is, let's wait a little bit. There it is. So that's the problem. So I initially thought that this would be to do with the reset, because it looks like there's brand new pads back in front, and I was convinced that would be the reset needed to be done on the electronic parking brake. So I did the base settings on it, the lights went off, restart the ignition, and boom, it came back on after a few seconds. So obviously, clearly something else is wrong, and therefore we're going to try to find out what is wrong with it. So I'm going to start at the rear. Don't ask me why. I'm going to check the rear first, and we'll see if we find anything wrong in there. Okay, and it didn't take long to find some bodged work. There he is. So I'm not sure what's going on. This sensor is facing the wrong way because the cable comes this way and then turns around. I don't think is the way it should be. That's a shit connection, to say the least. Obviously the loom from the car, which should have a plug that should, by the looks of it, come somewhere here, is gone. Oh crap, really? Shit. Oh, okay. Oh dear, something else happened here as well. Maybe the wires are good and it's just the conduct outside, maybe. Okay, we're gonna have to inspect this and see what we have. But for now, I'm going to cut this off. And oh, hold on. Haha, hold on a second. I've just changed this morning brakes and pads on a Q5. Look at that. So one is definitely gone, but the other one was not gone through yet. As you can see, it was start to touch, but he hasn't gone through yet. We're gonna measure it. At least we have a plug. I just need a male now to come in here. Let me check if I have anything on the van. Let me show you what I found on the van. This is what happens when you keep all the bits and bobs. I don't know where this is from, but look what happens, or what's going to happen, because it looks like the same. So this is my sensor, which is still good. I will show you in a second. I've been cleaning the pins here, and look at this fitment. Ooh, baby. And now, if I measure this, I do have 0.2 ohms. Right, the only thing I'm going to do is right here where this sensor starts going through the wire, is I'm going to cover this up with a little bit. I'm going to clean it very well, and I'm going to cover this up with maybe glue or something like that, just to prevent corrosion. We don't want corrosion to go through this and make the circuit get open before the actually pads get through this. So that's what I'm going to do. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So we're going to do that and try to see if this solves my problem. But it's unbelievable that this has been done on a garage, guys, on a garage. So, but that can be done a little bit later. So for now, let's pull this sensor out somehow. Ah dear. Let me see if I can pull it out just to make sure. Just to make sure it's the same. Yeah, that's how it comes out. So it's pretty much, it's slightly different, but it's going to do the same job, I think. I'm sure it's gonna do the job. This one is, oh dear. Let me see how that one fits in. I hope it does fit, otherwise you might gonna have to get a new sensor. Bit of plastics there. Something in there. It's cleaning. Oh, gosh. Yeah. That's clean now. They look the same. Let me at least sort of, let me see if they are the same stuff. I'm not sure which one is the front one that I took from the Q5. If it was this one or the other one. Let me see if this fits in. Oh, it fits in perfect. Look at that. Perfect. Perfect fitment. I actually think this is the one from the back on the Q5. And the one that the wire is missing, the sensor is missing because it broke. Where's the other one? Is here. I think this one. No, this was actually the rear. Or was the front? No, I think this is the rear. And that one was the front. But either way we'll do the job. Just let me see how it looks for the pad wear. It's gonna, no it's not. You get the torch to show you. Okay, so there we go. So when it gets through the wire, you're gonna be at the end of the pads. So yeah, if it's okay, I'm more than happy with this. It's gonna more than do the job. So when it gets through the wire, it's gonna have a little bit of pad left, as you might be able to see there. I don't know if you can see it. I hope you do. There we go. There it is. Yeah, it will do the job. So I'm going to cover that as I say. Oh, come out. Come on. So let's gonna cover these copper wires and then redo the car. Is this good? Yeah, this wire was good. It's probably the connection in there maybe. Let me cut it off and see what we find in there. Like always, there's more than meets the eye. Look at that in there. Okay, so I'm gonna have to repair this. We can't leave this like that because these wires are gonna start to get moisture and it's gonna destroy everything. So that's problem number one. But the wires look good, so nothing looks broke or anything like that. I think it's gonna be this connection here, which, to be honest, a connection like this in a place like this, bloody idiot. Honestly. Let me see if I can. Hold on. Oh my god. Let me see if I can show you this. It is connected. It is definitely connected. So I'm not really sure. Oh man, I hope there's nothing else wrong with this crap. All right, okay. So let's gonna cut this here. Just like so. I try to, I don't know how I'm going to do this because I don't have a lot to play with. The focus is terrible, isn't it? It's all because of the sun. Okay, so I'm going to have to, I think, because I don't have a room here to put any shrink tubing, I'm going to have to take this thing off. It's vulcanized here, but I'm going to have to take it off probably this. Because otherwise there is no room here for the tube shrinking to grab onto. Okay, and up here, what I'm going to do up here, oh crap, I'm going to have to take a little bit of insulation somehow, and then just wrap it up as much as I can, really. Oh my god, this is not good. This is definitely not good. Okay, so over here, I know this is not ideal. The ideal stuff would be either cut all the wires and tube shrinking, etc., or just replace this cable. This cable goes inside. I'm sure it's gonna have a plug somewhere in here, or maybe inside the chassis, somewhere around here, probably just here behind, I don't know. But ideal would be replacing this, which I will let know the owner. But for now, what I've done is I've cut, I should have showed you, I've cut this outside tubing, and I've insulated. All the wires are good. Obviously the insulation on the wires itself, they were cracked, but the core, the copper strands, were actually good. So I've insulated every single one of them individually. Then I've used liquid tape. I just put it back on the van. Anyway, liquid tape is just that. Is like this sort of tape. It's like this, but it's liquid. So you just brush it off. So I filled pretty much everything with our liquid tape, let it to dry a little bit, and then I've insulated everything with this tape. I put probably about five layers of this tape. It's not ideal, but yeah, for now it will do. And then obviously I'll let know the owner, maybe to get this cable and get it replaced. Down here, this is where I am at the moment. So I've soldered this inside, this wire. I took this from the plug itself so I could get the tube shrinking through, etc. It's all soldered with these things. Put the tube shrinking. Now I'm going to put everything. I'm going to put the plug here and just shrink this, and that will be it on the car side. The sensor itself, where did I put the sensor? No, here it is. There it is. I cover it up. I've cleaned it and I cover it up with sealant. This sealant is rated for 350 degrees. I much doubt these brakes will ever get to that temperature. So, but I don't think they will get to that temperature. But okay, so let's gonna carry on and see how it goes. And look at that. It looks like original. Even fits in there properly on the bracket. Everything's secured properly. Right. Now is the time to go and give it a try. If that works, I will obviously advise to get the right cable and perhaps the right sensor, even though the sensor I don't think is nothing wrong with it, but at least this will prove that this is all good. And yeah, we'll see what happens. Let's gonna try this again, see if we fix the problem or not. Okay, just got in, started the car. So far, so good. I need to close the button. Ah, crap. Okay, it didn't work. Actually, let me do one thing, because I don't know how that was before. So let's gonna do a basic setting again and see if that goes away. Okay, so that didn't sort nothing. To be honest with you, I don't think you need to do that on this car. I think it's literally just a circuit. If it breaks, it triggers the light. So I'm quite happy with the rear. Let's gonna check the front just in case. Just in case. So at the rear there's only a sensor on that side, on the passenger side. There's nothing on this side. So yeah, there's no sensor. I don't think you should have a sensor anyway on the driver's side. It's only on that side. So at the front, usually they are crossed. So I'm gonna guess the front one should be on this side, but I'm not 100% sure. We're gonna have to check that out. But yeah, let's gonna check the front, because it's the only thing I can think of. But if that's what they did, if they messed up both sensors, honestly, that's not a very good job. Let's go and have a look at it. Are you for real? Seriously? Are you F real? Seriously? There's certain people working on cars that, honestly, I wouldn't trust them even with my bike, leave alone my car. Holy crap, this is absolutely terrible. Okay, let me see if I find what's wrong with this. That's fucking shit. Oh dear. And that was last Saturday. Today is Wednesday. Not really important. What have we done after that? So after that, I've repaired this side of things. I didn't have any more of these plugs, of these males, so I had to ask a colleague of mine. He had a Golf to scrap, and I got a loom out of it with a couple of these plugs, so I used one here. I've also repaired this sensor. However, so I did it like this. It's quite nicely up to there, but even I am not happy with what I'm doing. So once we figured out everything that is wrong with this, which there is more than meet the eye, I will explain in a second. Once that's all done, we will be fitting new sensors, okay? Glad I got the sensors, because the sensor at the front is actually a dual sensor, so there is one sensor on each pad, rather than just one like I did in there. Don't take me wrong, if this car was mine, I would probably be more than happy like this until the next brake pad change comes along, but it is what it is, so we will get things done properly. Another thing that I'm a little bit, don't take me wrong, again, if the car was mine, I would be happy with it. I will have to speak with the owner, see what he wants to do. Is this here. I'm quite happy that this is going to last some time, and it's not going to break the cable that easy anymore, because the way I've done it, the flex of this cable is going to be spread along the entire cable, rather than before, because before where it was broken was a weak point, so all the bending, it was happening exactly in that place. That's why the insulation on the wires inside were already split as well. So I'm quite happy with this. The only way to do this really properly is replacing all of this. There's no really other way, other than if I start to cut these and then solder, then tube shrinking these. I don't know, I would probably just replace the lot. But for now, these will do the job. Now, why am I saying there is more than meets the eye? I'm saying that because on Saturday, just before I finished on this, I thought, I didn't have those plugs, as I said to you, I didn't have any more of this. So for a quick fix, or for a quick check, what I've done is I've twisted the wires in there. Just twist the wires to close the circuit. And I think you guys can figure it out already that did not solve the problem. So there is something else wrong with it. From there, I went and I got hold of diagrams, and the diagrams are actually quite simple. Let me just quickly take you through how they look like. And just before I start, let me tell you something. This car has only two sensors. Only two sensors on the left hand side. There's nothing on the right hand side. I checked and double checked. I had the wheels out to proper check if the cable would have been like cut sharp or something like that, and I couldn't see it properly just by looking into the car and through the spokes, through the wheels. There is definitely no sensors. So unless the actually loom of the car has been changed, which I don't think so, the car does have no sensors on the right hand side, which means G37 and G35 are non-existent on my car. So this circuit here disappears, okay? Doesn't exist. So I guess on a car with 4 sensors, this ground here would be interrupted somewhere and wouldn't exist, and the circuit would run from this ground point through the 4 sensors and then back to module J519, which I believe is under the dash on the driver's side. But because I don't have these 2 sensors, this is how my diagram should look like. So a ground point somewhere in the boot, I don't know where it is. I know it's ground point 50. I don't know where he actually lives. But anyway, there's a ground back in the boot that runs all the way. It feeds all the stuff, which doesn't really matter. And then it comes to rear left sensor. Goes through the sensor, comes out. Goes through the front left sensor, which is 2 sensors, but it doesn't really matter. For the diagram purpose, that's all you need. It runs through the front sensor and goes to there. So all the only thing the module needs to see here is a ground. As soon as this ground is interrupted, it triggers the light for the pads. So at the moment, look at these diagrams. I have 3 possible problems. My ground is interrupted somewhere from here because these feeds all the stuff and I have no other problems with the car. So I'm gonna guess that's gonna fail somewhere from here where it comes to the sensor. It's gonna fail, or is failed between the rear sensor and the front sensor, so somewhere here, or it failed somewhere between the front sensor and the module. And the only thing is going to be a wiring problem. It's quite easy to see that this most likely is going to be a wiring problem. So we're going to do a couple tests, which I will be taking you through to try to figure out where my problem is. Right, so this wire that you see going through there is connected, you probably already guessed, to voltage on that jump point, or that point under the bonnet. So that's where it's connected. It brings voltage all the way to my test light. So, which means if I touch my test light on anything with a ground, I should have, you guessed, I should see light. So if I touch one of these points, one of these pins here should have ground. Let's gonna try. I have nothing on this one. Voila, and I have on that one. So that's a good start. Which means this second wire is the one that's gonna run. So this second wire, so my ground is on the pin on the left, which means the pin on the right goes from here all the way to the front of the car. So we can either measure the continuity here from here to there, or I can just plug this in, close the circuit, so I should have a ground now on one of the pins at the front. So let's gonna move this, hold on a second. Okay, so moved it to there, so let's make sure this is actually good. Indeed it is, you can probably see it. So one of these pins should have, I'm gonna do these two hands, hold on a second. So one of these pins should have a ground. Nothing on that one. Nothing on that one. So problem found. So my issue is somewhere between here and the rear of the car. So let's gonna check what. I'm not sure which one should have the continuity. Doesn't really matter, to be honest with you. Actually, I can figure these out easily if I look at the diagrams again. Hold on a second. Right, so in here I should have a black and a brown wire. Let me pull this thing out. Should have a black. Ah, crap. These wires are going to be different colors. I can't really. It was a black and a brown, so the brown is the one that comes from the rear of the car, which means it's the one that should bring the ground from back there to here. The thing is, guys, is, oh dear, let me do a little bit of checks off camera. Just let me make sure I was push these okay against the pins, etc, etc, and we'll have to try figure out what's wrong, where the problem is, where the broken wire is. Okay, and right here, the back of the car, on this side, that's where the loom gets into the car, and it gets into the car right there. You see here, this little loom here, so that comes from back there, gets into this main sort of loom here, and it travels all the way to the front of the car. So my blue wire, I already been here pulling it out. So at the back, the wire that brings back the ground is a black and blue, which is this one there. Can you see? Can you see in there? This one, black and blue. So this is the one. I'm not a fan of piercing wires, but I'm gonna very gentle just pierce a little bit in there. Just quick check if I have ground in here. It's inside the car, so hopefully it'll be alright. I'm gonna be using one of these, just a really tiny pierce. Oh god, this is crap. How am I gonna show you this? I don't even know. What am I showing you? Like that maybe? That'll be okay? I don't know. what I'm going to be showing you. I'll do my best. Right, and if you can see the thingy, let me see if you can. Yes, you can. So let me just very gentle. If this comes to life, that means the wire is good all the way up to here. There it is. Boom. I'm sure you can see it. So it's good here. Now from here, this, oh dear me. So from here, this loom goes all the way to the front of the car. Now, is there a chance of the wire being broken inside the car? Of course it is, but I'm very adamant that maybe that is not going to be the case. But again, I don't know the background of the car. Someone could have been doing something inside the car and I don't know. So anyway, I'm going to try to find another point somewhere at the front of the car, somewhere at the front, maybe in that seal, maybe on the floor in the front seat. My problem now is this wire changed from black and blue to brown, and I don't know where exactly that happens. Hopefully it's not here, it might be further down. So let's kind of find out this wire again somewhere and try to see if we find where the break is. Okay, so you guys can guess. Before I start to strip the car inside, I decided that I would do roughly the same as I've done at the back. So at the back I checked inside the car, straight after inside the car, see if I have everything good in there, which I had. So I decided that I would be looking to see where this would come, and obviously it comes from there. I've already started to strip this out, but I'll show you everything in a minute. So it comes from here, joins this loom here, this big loom here, and then it goes all the way back, and goes inside the car. So here I already pulled this out, which runs behind the chock and then goes in that thing in there and goes underneath. Anyway, this cable here, as you can see, this one cable inside has 4 wires, which is the 2 wires for my ABS sensor and for the brake wear sensor. Okay, now the interesting thing is, so that's the one in there. Look at that. So you see, so the cable, 4 wires, yellow and red, and if you remember, black and brown, which is my wear sensor. Look how this wire is inside, how these wires are inside. Yeah, they are a little bit rotten. Water has been getting through them, most likely from that cut. But it's not all bad news, I hope, because I want to show you this. Just hold a minute. So let me show you this. Black and brown. If you guys remember, if you don't, I will tell you. The brown wire is the wire that comes from the rear of the car to the front sensor, leaves the front sensor and comes through the black wire to inside the car. Test light. Brown wire. Let me see if I can show you everything on the same frame. Boom! Haha! Which means there's nothing wrong, at least up to here. But when I check the brown, that wire, there's nothing coming back. So my issue is somewhere between here and my sensor. So it's going to be somewhere this lead here. Now the whole lead is completely sealed, so it's just this sort of cable. So maybe the water got to a point where it destroyed the cable inside. So I'm going to have to get another one. That's the only way really. I'm not going to waste more time with this. It could be that it's failing more than one point, so stripping it out and try to fix. I'm going to guess it's going to be here somewhere where it failed, because is where it's going to be rotten inside. As you can see, it's all black because of the water, sort of corrosion, and I'm going to guess it went where it bends the most. So that combined with this is snapped. I'm going to guess it's going to be somewhere inside. So I'm going to strip these out, cut these here. I'll have to cut the ABS as well, so we're going to have to get another cable for this. Hopefully Audi will sell them. If he doesn't, we're gonna have to go to a scrap yard or something along those lines. I'm gonna undo all this, take the cable out, and I might actually cut this up just so we can figure out exactly where the problem is, or at least confirm my suspicions. But this is where the problem is, guys. No doubt that the problem is somewhere here. Yeah, because I get nothing over here, so it's not like if it's just one wire broken as it comes down. So if I have, let's face it, guys, if I have signal here and I don't have signal down here on the pin, right, nothing, the other one, nothing, that means wherever they failed, both wires have actually failed already. So yeah, it's not looking, I mean, it's looking good, guys. I'm really happy that, oh come on, I've wedged the camera in there. It's really good that I found the issue. I'm not gonna lie, I'm really happy that it's not inside the car and I actually found it, but it's not looking good for the fact that we're not going to be able to fix this unless we get some parts. So that's what it is. Right, guys, and I found the point of failure finally. So forget about that. So here is where all the 3 wires, let me see if I can hold the camera somehow with my leg. Oh, there we go. So here is where all the 3 wires comes in. So the 2 sensors, and then gets the wire out that goes into the car here. So the ABS still attached, as you can see, and this one was going literally like this, folding back into there. It failed right here because as soon as I took this out, this literally just came out, and you're gonna see that there is pretty much no, you can't really see so much here. Let me see on the other wires, because I dragged the wires out, bit of a mess. I pulled the wires out, and when you look in there, come on, focus, look at that, there's no copper pretty much left in good shape. It's completely gone. That, so both failed, look at that, completely black. So both wires failed at that point. So that's about it, really. That's gonna get another loom. Now here, what am I gonna do? I think what I'm gonna do here is I'm going to drop this loom. The loom comes all the way up to, I can drop it all the way up to, oh, honestly, I'm not gonna gain a lot. I was thinking about rip the loom all the way back here and cut the wires back here, but to be honest with you, I don't think they're gonna be any better than they are here. They're not too bad here, to be fair with you. As soon as you clean them a bit, they are actually, well, these ones here, they are still not too bad when you look in there. So you can still see copper left, quite a lot actually, and it's quite hard, the wire. So it might be, I might try to undo this loom a little bit, strip this loom a little bit more, and maybe grab it somewhere there. Oh well, it is what it is, because otherwise you'll be what, replace the entire loom to inside the car? Really? I don't think that's gonna happen. Anyway, we found the issue. That's gonna get it sorted now. No, that's not me. Right, I just couldn't help myself, guys. So I came all the way up to here, and look at my black wire. It's a clean wire now. Don't focus, look at that, completely clean. My brown wire though is still not 100%. So I'm gonna pull the water thing out, and I'm gonna drop this loom a little bit more if I can over there. See if I can unwrap a little bit more, see if I can find the good wire on this brown one. Hopefully I can find it not further back. We'll see how it goes. Okay guys, finally found it. So I had to come all the way to here. So literally this goes back like that, and that's gonna be sunk. I had to come all the way back there, pull it like this, but look at that, look at the brown wire, right, clean copper, and like that, maybe, look at that, see, really clean. Come on, focus, damn it. Okay, there we go. Look at that. Beautiful. Beautiful. So that's how far I had to come to get clean wire. I feel much better doing it this way than just do it at the front, and then this rotting will just most likely would carry on slowly, or would ended up destroying the wire where was already with that corrosion. So at least I found clean wiring. So now, yes, we're gonna have to get the bits and then finish these off. That, however, is not going to be today. Today all I'm going to do is I'm going to put the new sensor at the back, because I don't have to do anything else in there. Just going to put the sensor, put the wheel back on, and that's it at the back, all done. Gonna assemble the trunk as well, the boot, put all the liner in place, etc, etc. And at the front I'm just going to put the wheel. I already put the cables somewhere in there, so I'm just going to put the wheel and ring Audi tomorrow, see if they sell me that little bit of loom, and that's it for today. Right, and a few days later, the weather has changed quite a lot, and literally this is going to be my only window to finish this off. They do not forecast any rain for today. It was raining last night. I was at work. I just left work this morning, had a couple hours sleep, and I came here to try to finish this off today. They do not forecast any rain for today, but they do forecast rain for the rest of the week. So jacked up the car, took the wheel, dropped the loom again, and did a little bit more. I removed already the ABS plug. Now you might be wondering, why did I remove the ABS plug? Let me show you why. Right, this is this is my cable. So the part number, the old part number, guys, it was right at the top, not the Audi, it says 4 G0972251D. The new part number is exactly the same, but let's see if I get it from here. But it ends on, where is the part number? There we go. Oh, you can see in there, 4G0972251E. So the old part number has been superseded with the E. Now, why is the ABS plug removed? I had to remove that, all the grounds from the chassis, because when I got this out of the box, so obviously the wear sensor comes like this, ready to be soldered, because obviously the wires run to the inside of the car, etc. But the ABS unit comes like this. Let me show you. So it comes ready to go all the way down to the ABS. At some point, when I got these out of the box yesterday, I got up a little bit earlier before I went to work to go to Audi and pick up this, and I opened the box and I look at this and I thought to myself, my first thought was, no way I'm gonna strip the entire loom. I'll just, you know, the wires are already cut here, if you remember. I'll just solder in there and off you go. But now, before I start this, I was just here looking how difficult it will be. It is a little bit to unwrap, etc. But I just thought to myself, you know, I came all the way along to this point, let's do this right. And I just thought, I know a lot of people would just cut this loom and solder into that. We're going to do it the proper way. We're going to unwrap everything and just get the wires all the way down to the ABS module. And so that's it really. We're going to unwrap this, put the new wiring, then start to wrap the loom again, and solder that in there. I might take you a little bit through halfway, see where we are, but for now that's it. Let's gonna get this done. Okay, so everything is unwrapped all the way down to the ABS plug. These are the wires we are going to remove. If you remember, the ones I've cut, yellow and red. To remove them, you can see there where the pin is, you have these little sort of two gaps, top and bottom. So I'm going to insert something, one on each side, one here and one on the other side, and that should press the tabs inside. That will allow the pin to slide out. But before that, we need to unlock the plug. You can see there, it's closed. If I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this one hand. There it is. And now it says open. So now the pins will slide. When this is pushed that way, it locks all the pins in place. So even if you press these 2 tabs, the pins will not slide out. Okay, just quick note there. Okay, new wires started to be wrapped into the loom. Now some of you are going to look and say, whoa, are you using the same tape? Yes, I am. Now this tape is nothing like the one I have. It's cloth tape, sort of, but it's thick. The one I have is nothing like this, and to be honest, it's still very sticky. So I'm going to wrap it up. It's actually wrapping quite well, to be honest with you. So I'm not concerned that it's going to be any issue. So I'm going to use the same wrap up to where it goes. Then I'll be using my cloth tape, but this tape is completely different. This is like, I don't know, it's really thick and it has a different feel, a different, don't know. I just thought it would be better if I would use the same one rather than put new one here. So that's what we're doing, but it looks okay. So I'll be putting the cover there. It's looking good. So that's gonna carry on. And look at this. You would never tell that this has been open. Okay, and a quick catch up. So everything is in place down here. Let me show you there. This plugged in. The cable is already routed, all the way wrapped. That should be black, but all the way back up to here. Now the soldering iron is warming up, and I'm ready to solder these wires and tube shrinking. Okay, then we'll carry on wrapping the main loom and put it back in place. And look at this glue coming out from inside the tube shrinking. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Now that's going to put a main one outside both and carry on. Hey guys, just curiosity, in case if you are wondering, the loom comes with enough wire to get pretty much inside the car if you need to. Obviously I didn't need to, so I cut it. Everything is in place. The new sensor is already in place, as you can see, one on each brake pad. The loom is already routed correctly, so the water bottle or container is already in place. The loom all the way. Let me turn it around. Oh dear. There we go, all the way there. All done. So just the liner now, which I'm going to do. I'm that confident that this will sort my problem. I've not even tested it. Oh dear. Oh dear. Right, let's gonna put the line, the wheel, drop the car, and then try it. See if that fixes the problem. Okay, all finished. And now, time to give it a go. Let's see if it worked. Right, I hope there is no errors because, well, there might be, but I hope I don't need to do nothing for the time being because I have the ABS pump disconnected. I never had the key on, but you never know. So that's gonna start this thing after 5 days or so, or 3 days, 4 days. Let's gonna see what happened. That was it, and then after this would come up with the brakes. Let me turn the AC off. It would be within a few seconds after you start the car and after the airbag light message. I'm happy to say we have a fix. Let it run for a little bit longer. Yeah, let it to do that. Some systems are still booting up. Right, the cold start just finished. So far so good. This goes now about a minute. Let me take the handbrake off. Okay. Sounds good. Oh dear. And we have a fix. Put the brake back on. I would say it would come on by now. It would come on within the first, I would say 30 seconds or so. 30 to 40 seconds. Usually it would show the the airbag light, the airbag on message, and straight after that the brake light would come on, the brake pad warning would come on. So guys, we have a fix. I'm really pleased. Honestly, once we found that, was no rocket science that would be the cause of this problem. And yeah, it took us a little bit to do it right, especially when I had to cut the wire to open the loom until we find clean copper. That's the right way to do it. So yeah, had to be done that way. So we have a fix. It's running now for about 3 minutes or so. More than good. I'm more than happy the problem is done. Right, with no further ado, I don't know, hope you enjoyed the video. Hope there's some information you guys find useful. Maybe the way I tested it. Yes, the start, I kind of started the wrong way. I was not happy with what I was doing, so we had to just reset and start all over. So yeah, in the end, that's what it was. A shame that some people worked on cars and did what they did. Absolutely disgusting, but it is what it is. We got it fixed. So with no further ado, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Hope there's some information here you can find useful. If you do have any questions, any comments, please put them below. And like always, thanks for watching.